It is summertime. It is time to hit the open road. And are you stuck in a Honda Civic, too afraid of tackling a little bit of rough terrain? Well, good news, Ideal Fam. Today, I'm gonna show you 7 cheap trucks and SUVs to start you on your overland adventure. These cheap rides will take you across the open road, down a dusty trail, and over any mountain you choose. And spoiler alert, this is one of them. If you're new here, I'm the Squid. Grab your gear, smash that subscribe button down below, and let's hit the trail. To start us off, we're gonna go with the infamous and well-known Jeep Cherokee XJ, a super capable off-road beast that pretty much everyone should be aware of. Now, why am I recommending a Cherokee instead of the super famous and super popular Wrangler? Well, the more budget-friendly Cherokee is just as capable as its Wrangler brother. And bonus, you get a freaking roof over your head and a ton of room to store things. Offered in both rear-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, you'll definitely want to get the model that powers all 4 wheels if you're considering tackling any kind of tough terrain. The XJ Cherokee actually had a production run of nearly 20 years. That's probably older than most of you. And over those 20 years, it was offered with a number of different engine options, including an eensy-teensy little 4-cylinder. Now, if you're shopping for an XJ, you're definitely going to want to consider getting with the notoriously reliable 4.0-liter inline 6. This is a power plant that is known to go the distance. These things last for hundreds of thousands of miles. And this being a Jeep, there's just an unlimited amount of aftermarket support for the Cherokee XJ, making this the ideal choice if you don't want to figure out how to custom fabricate a bunch of equipment for your rig. Now, luckily the XJ didn't change much in its decades-long run, so prices for them are pretty similar. You can regularly find them for under 10 grand, and often a lot less than that. Now, if you asked me, which you did because you clicked on this video, I would go for a 97 or newer. They came with an upgraded interior and exterior design, and prices are still pretty much the same, so why not get that extra plushness? And good news, Ideal Fam, we were able to find this 1999 white XJ with the 6-cylinder for just 4,500 bucks. That's already the cheapest car on this list, and the only one. All right, I know what you're thinking. Everyone knows about the Cherokee XJ. What about a far less obvious and far more comfortable choice? Well, then you, my friend, might want to consider yourself a Mitsubishi Montero. Do you want to scramble over rocks and look good doing it? Well, then the mighty Mitsubishi might be the rig for you. You may know it as the Piero or Pajero, I have no idea, the Colt Shogun, or the Dodge Shotgunny Friggy Diggy Dooey. What is it called? The Colt Shogun or the Dodge Raider. It goes by many different names in many different markets. But no matter where you bought it, it has a racing pedigree. Mitsubishi Monteros conquered the Dakar rallies in the 1990s, took home 150 stage wins. That's almost twice that of its nearest rival. Now, it's no race truck, but a pedestrian Montero comes as a mid-sized 4x4 in its 3rd generation. Now, there are a few different engine choices, but we would definitely recommend the 3.5-liter or 3.6-liter V6. The Montero is kind of known as a slug, so getting the biggest engine you can get is definitely going to help you keep up with all your Land Cruiser buddies on the trails. Prices for each generation of Montero largely are the same, so go with the 3rd generation. They come packed with more features and technology that you're going to want when you go off-road. Some of these features include a lower unibody construction with an integral ladder frame chassis for increased torque and rigidity, which you're going to want when you're taking this thing on the trail. Also, the fuel tank was shifted in between the axles for better weight distribution and to give the Montero a little extra ground clearance. All of this adds up to a versatile, comfortable, capable off-roader with room for all of your friends and all of your gear, making this one of the best choices for your first overlanding rig. Now, does that sound too good to be true? Well, it might be. Monteros are actually pretty rare and pretty hard to come by, with older generations becoming harder and harder to find. But with a little detective work, we here at Ideal were able to find this one for just $59.50, which is a great value for the money. It's worth every penny, and bonus, you don't have to worry about aftermarket support as that is built into the Montero. And if you ask me, it's probably one of the prettier looking rides on this list. Next, moving on to something a little more familiar, something with a lot less room for your friends and a lot more room for your gear, the versatile, cheap, quirky little Ford Ranger. I know what you're saying. I see these all the time, and I've almost never seen one overlanding. Well, that's good news for you. You see, there's so many Rangers on the road that these things are dirt cheap. And most people don't know how hyper capable they are. You see, Ford made like 43 trillion Rangers in its first iteration, and it doesn't stop there. The new ones really are something, but that's a video for another day. The benefit of that popularity is that parts for these are cheap. And the trucks themselves are cheap. Hell, a Ford Ranger is so cheap that you might just replace the entire truck if something breaks down. And they are endlessly customizable. Get yourself a long travel suspension kit to get over some wilder terrain, slap some meaty Toyo tires on there so you have the confidence that you'll conquer anything, and you can get a fiberglass top for the bed, and you never have to sleep outside again. That's a hell of a lot cheaper than rooftop tenting, let me tell you. These plucky little trucks come with solid axles, bigger tires, and more aftermarket support because they've just been around for so damn long. Now, there are just a million different models of Ford Ranger out there over its decades-long lifespan. Our recommendation? Go for a 98 to 2011 Ford Ranger XLT. Of course, make sure you're getting a four-wheel drive model, and if you can, try to get that super cab so you can fit a little more gear in the cabin. Examples like this 2001 XLT have all of the options we just discussed for only $3,300. So what are you waiting for? Get yourself a little Ranger, drive it to work every day, and on your weekends, go cruise it up to the mountains, rain, sleet, or snow, effectively killing two birds with one stone. But you know, like, don't actually kill birds, it's not cool. We need them. They're our friends. Now let's talk about something only the weirdest of you will even be thinking about, and that is the ISUZU Trooper. That's right, ISUZU. When's the last time you even heard the name ISUZU? For a lot of you guys that are a lot younger than me, you may have never heard that name. Well, listen up, pay attention, because the ISUZU Trooper might be one of the best values in overlanding today, especially if you're a tall glass of water. Let me tell you why. You see, the ISUZU Trooper has the most storage space of any rig on this list, bar none. You can even store an entire bicycle in the back without even removing a wheel. And its capability on the road and off easily compares to more expensive rigs. It even came with the highest ground clearance in its class at the time of its release. So the Trooper holds up. I mean, let's get real. Who wants to spend more money on something that they could get cheaper? I mean, my broke ass doesn't. And if you're pinching pennies building an overlanding rig, the ISUZU Trooper should be your first choice, with decent models coming in at near $1,000. I mean, I was able to find this clean one for $1,300. That's insane. That's less than most dudes spend on their tires. Now, you might want to consider the second generation. More aftermarket support, it's got a bigger, better V6 engine, it's got a wider wheelbase. If you can, go for one with the updated 3.5 liter V6, and as always, try and get one with a manual transmission. Now, the downside is, for the second generation, it ain't gonna be $1,300 like that last one. Examples of the second generation ISUZU Trooper usually float more near the $4,000 range, such as this example I found with that 3.5 liter V6 for only $34.99. Now, keep in mind, the ISUZU Trooper is not the most reliable rig on this list, so with all that money you saved, pack a few extra tools. Now, the most reliable rig on this list, and I bet you were all just waiting for me to bring it up, is, of course, the LEXUS GX470. No joke, if you're looking for an overlanding, off-roading, mall-crushing SUV for under 10K, stop right now. You found it. I'm gonna give you a brief rundown of this, but really, for a full detailed description, you should check out the video I made up here. It's worth a watch. You will not find a bigger, a more badass, a more luxurious, a more reliable, and more capable rig right now, and I mean right now, prices might go up, than the GX470. The LEXUS GX470 is a 4x4 mid-size 5-door luxury SUV with a 4.7 liter V8 and is also known as the Toyota Land Cruiser Prado. And this little Lexus is packed with off-roading technology to make your life easier on and off the road. Like Toyota's A-Track system, which will get you just about over anything without needing lockers. And there is a center locking diff should you need it. It has full-time four-wheel drive with selectable low when you need it, and even downhill assist control to help you modulate your speed as you go down a slope. The interior screams luxury and comfort, and offers 2 rows of seating with an additional 3rd row if you really want it. Toyota was kinda showing off when they made the GX470, and I love it. And this being a Land Cruiser, and also sharing its platform with the 4Runner and the FJ, aftermarket parts are in strong supply, and there are just so many ways you can upgrade a GX470 for any of your overlanding needs. Right now, you can pick one of these up for under 10 grand, swap out the tires, and go crush any terrain you want. Or be like me and start messing with perfection. Adding bigger wheels, bigger tires, a rooftop tent, a roof rack, and I have a whole lot more planned for this rig. Now, if you're looking to buy, go for the 05 or newer if you want a little extra power, or go for the 03 or 04 if you want a little extra reliability and don't mind the lack of grunt. Either way, you've got a rig that will go for hundreds of thousands of miles. Seriously, this is one of the most reliable cars ever made. The GX will conquer any terrain out of the box for under 10 grand, and sometimes a lot less. In fact, I was able to find this one, an 05 with the extra horsepower, for only 6 grand. That's less than I paid for this guy. Maybe you don't want a big gas-guzzling, hyper-capable SUV. You just need something a little more reasonable for your daily drive that you want to take out on the weekends. Well then for you, I would consider the Subaru Outback. A car? You want me to take a car out into the wild? Don't be so surprised. The Overlanding Outback has gained popularity in recent years due to its decent capability and excellent daily drivability. Subarus, of course, have long been the choice of tree-hugging hippies who need to reach the roads less traveled. And thanks to that popularity, there's a ton of examples, and they're a great, cheap, reasonable choice for someone who's just getting started in the world of overlanding. The Outback is a Subaru legacy with some extra body paneling, beefier suspension, a raised roof, two-tone paint, a roof rack, and a bigger set of tires. It also has a not too bad towing capacity. Now, it's no 4x4 SUV or a pickup truck, but it being a station wagon means it offers plenty of space for storage or even for sleeping in, which is perfect for overlanding. And that big roof with the built-in roof rack means that you can store all kinds of gear or even rig it up for a rooftop tent, like this one. Now, the real advantage of an Outback is its fuel economy. This being just a normal car, it actually gets a decent miles per gallon compared to something like this. And that matters a lot when you're overlanding because you're going to be driving across a lot of roads, spending a lot of money on gas. And you don't want to be buying 93 octane like this thing. But it's no slouch. With 7.3 inches of ground clearance and hyper-capable all-wheel drive, the Subaru Outback can actually get you over most terrain that you're going to need to get through, while keeping a daily driver car-like personality. And the good news is you can get an early Subaru Outback for around 5,000 bucks. Newer models are of course going to cost you more, and sometimes they can be had for a lot less. Like I found this LL Bean edition for just 2,500 bucks. That's a great price for a great car, but I'm sure some of you more experienced off-road and overlanders are waiting for me to say the magic word. That's right, as the sun is setting, it is time to talk the 4Runner. We saved the best for last. We have a winner. If you see a 4Runner for sale and you can afford it, buy it. That's right, go down any dirt road in America and you're gonna see a 4Runner. You're probably gonna see like a dozen of them. The Toyota 4Runner is the de facto choice for anyone who wants to explore wild roads. The engineering on a 4Runner is like nothing else on any car ever. And yes, I'm even including my beauty baby GX470. Toyota always packs their 4Runner with the latest and greatest in their off-roading technology. It comes with a solid rear axle, which helps with reliability, which is the key word when you're talking 4Runner. These things last forever. You're gonna see 4Runners running and driving themselves after the apocalypse. A real-life Mad Max situation is pretty much only going to be Toyota 4Runners, and maybe a Crown Vic here and there. Now, Toyota made the 4Runner in 3 different packages: SR5, Limited, and Sport, with the SR5 version being the most affordable of the 3. Now, the 4Runner you're shopping for is probably going to come with a V6, but if you can find one, or if you can stretch your budget to afford it, getting that V8 model really helps on the trail, if not with the fuel economy. They are pretty hard to find and thus pretty expensive, but the V6 will not disappoint, especially when paired with Toyota's stout 4-wheel drive system. The 4Runner is built from the ground up for adventure and will outshine pretty much any car, truck, or SUV in its class or any class. Now, unlike the GX470, the secret is out on 4Runners. It's been forever, so it's going to come at a cost. 4Runners ain't cheap. If we're talking a proper 4-wheel drive model with reasonable miles, you're talking 7 grand just to get in the door. But even at that higher end price, this is still a totally ideal deal. I mean, they're just so reliable, you're not gonna end up spending any money on maintenance forever. So you can be pretty confident when you go shopping online and find a $7,000 4Runner like this one, that's about all the money you're ever gonna have to spend on that truck over the next 5 to 6 years. All right, Ideal fam, that has been my list of the best cheap first rigs if you're getting into overlanding. Let me know which were your favorites. Or, as I know you guys love to do, let me know what I missed or got wrong. I'm sure there's lots of it. Let me know down below. And if you had to ask me which is the ideal pick, I kind of already did it. This is my LEXUS GX470 I'm sleeping on the roof of right now. And it's probably the best purchase I've ever made in my entire life. Now, it's time for you to choose. Get yourself a pickup, an SUV, or an Outback, and get out there. I mean, what the hell else are you gonna do during a pandemic? All right, thanks for watching. Hope you liked it. Give us a subscribe, give us a like down below, and as always, keep living that ideal lifestyle, which means sleeping on the top of your car, I guess. Good night.